So hi everyone, I'm Krishnendu Chatterjee. I'm Vice President and Business Head with TeamLease Services, and we are here for an industry dialogue with Mr. Ashish Temwal on the unprecedented growth of Indian digital ecosystem and its impact on the employment. India's economy landscape has recently transformed due to the rapid expansion of its digital ecosystem. Factors driving this growth includes government initiative like Digital India and Startup India. Atmanirbhar Bharat has been the latest entrant in the whole scheme of things. This has increased the entire internet and smartphone usage and the flourishing e-commerce sector. According to the Internet and Mobile Association of India, the country is projected to reach 600 million internet users by the fiscal year's end, which has also boosted the mobile wallet users that is expected to be around 434 million by 2025. This surge in internet and smartphone penetration has significantly contributed to the development of digital payment ecosystem, the e-commerce market, and it is anticipated to hit 246 billion by 2028. This has been with the spur of increase in the online shoppers, which are projected to be about 220 millions by 2025. Multiple private entities support India's digital payment landscape, offering diverse services like mobile wallets, UPI payments, and QR code-based transactions. The digital evolution in India has not only impacted the economy, but also reshaped the employment sector, creating a high demand for skilled professionals in fields like digital marketing, data analysis, cybersecurity, and software development. The digital payments ecosystem has not only transformed financial transactions, but also escalated the demands for experts in fintech and digital payment technologies. The integration of digital solutions across sectors has reshaped the HR landscape, emphasizing the importance of adaptable and tech-savvy talent. To discuss this further, I'm privileged to have Deputy Vice President with SBI Payment Services Private Limited. Mr. Semwal carries more than 15 years of experience with over 10 years in digital payment space itself.
Thank you so much, Krishnendu. Thank you for inviting me for this industry dialogue. First of all, wish you a very happy New Year. And I hope you had a great 2023, and I wish you will have a wonderful 2024.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, and wish you a very happy New Year to your entire family.
Thank you so much.
Great year ahead.
Thank you so much.
So to continue with our conversation, Mr. Semwal, I have some of the questions which are around the whole digital payment and digital ecosystem in general. And, I would love to hear, from your perspective, since you have been part of one of the largest, payment service provider company, to understand how the ecosystem is and how it will impact the employment for future. So my first question to you, Mr. Semwal, is how has the rapid expansion of India's digital ecosystem influenced the overall employment landscape in recent years?
So like Krish, you started, you have given the background. So India's digital ecosystem has, undergone with explosive growth in the last few years, right? And the major factors to drive this growth was affordable smartphones, right? The internet connectivity and the initiatives taken by Government of India. The overall, this rapid expansion into digital India has definitely impacted, the overall market. The positive side, when we say, so there are a lot of jobs creation which has happened. And if we talk about traditional sectors, which are education sector or say healthcare sector or agriculture, so there also we have seen a lot of job opportunities coming in because they are also adapting all these digital innovations, which creates a lot of job opportunities for youngsters. So especially when we talk about e-commerce, there are a lot of opportunities which have emerged in marketing field, logistics, right, warehouse, and then we can say delivery boys, delivery agents coming in. When we talk about fintech, so then we have payment gateway experts, API integration experts, right? Then say mobile developers. So everything is on mobile nowadays, right? So mobile developers, then cyber security, because if something is digital, you have to be very cautious, right? So data analytics side, then again, business intelligence, AI, machine learning, all these things are coming in.
And, I think, and this is also a part of my next question as well.
Okay.
I think you kind of helped me with, shaping my next question is that, So how do you think, the initiative? So one thing I would factor, or I would, like to mention, is the 2016 demonetization was one of
Correct.
the, stepping stone towards the whole digital payment or the
That's
digital
correct.
commerce ecosystem in India. However, I would also, want to understand and, from your experience, that how do you think that the initiatives like Digital India or Make in India contribute towards the creation of new job opportunities in the digital sector? And in what ways these government-driven initiatives are fostering innovations and technological advancement? So one thing is that, there is a there is a move which has been made by a government that, hey, you know what, we will do Startup India or Digital India. But then we are definitely not copying things from the world. In fact, if you look at the whole payment services thing, India is kind of leading the world, from a whole
That's correct.
digital perspective. So how do you feel, what are the initiatives? I mean, does the initiative taken by government of the day has helped creating this whole sector, and how has it impacted the job opportunities for, millions and
Yeah.
millions of
So
people?
correct. So Krish, if you talk about the payment industry, so payment fintech, when we say, so this thing is available in the market since long, right?
Yeah,
But adaptability was a challenge, right? So there are a lot of players who are, and government was pushing for it, right? So since 2000, say 9 or 10, government was very aggressive to push all these, digital initiatives. But if we exclude metro cities, so if you move to tier two, tier three, tier four cities, people were not very, fond of using this digital economy, or using
correct.
these plastic cards, right? So if we specifically say POS, the people were not using ATM cards on those POS devices. They were afraid, and it was
Yes,
because of security breach, right? So they were using these plastic cards only to withdraw money from the ATMs. Even
correct,
if you go to more rural, people were still going to branches for withdrawing of the money. But the
correct.
demonetization in 2016 that actually helped, right,
Hmm.
to create that awareness among the people that the entire ecosystem, so what government is taking initiative is completely safe. People started believing in the system, right, and the products. Then the move, where NPCI has taken, a step on launching, UPI, right, and that is something, we know how we are growing in that particular segment, right. So we don't have to talk about this, right. So India is leading into it. Now people are very comfortable. So if you'll compare today's situation and then say past 7 8 years, so people used to carry, cash in the pocket, right. But now
Absolutely.
everybody has a smartphone. So nobody carries, whatever you want to buy, you can use your mobile phone and do the, and
Absolutely.
all these things have created a lot of opportunities. So even if you talk about from the merchant's perspective, so initially they were having a very limited scope to do the business. So maybe they were covering a population of say 500 meters or 1 kilometer radius
Correct.
from the shop. But now everything is digitally available. They can have a digital shop, and they can sell to any corner of the India, right? Similarly, in terms of jobs, so when this market was open into tier two, tier three, tier four cities, right? So a lot of job opportunities came. So starting from the technology innovation, so we are a lot of opportunities in software development, then risk side, then cyber security, as I mentioned, right? Then sales. Sales was one of the area which has created a lot of opportunities, right? And this space is innovating on say monthly basis or quarterly basis. There are new things which are coming. There are a lot
Right.
of new players who are coming into the market with new innovative solutions and new ideas, right? And
Right.
and obviously this is something which was a complete shift for India's infrastructure, right? And has created a lot of opportunities for people.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, on a serious note, but on a lighter note, I would like to mention. So, I don't know if you're familiar with Bangalore, Pormangla. There is a St. John's
Right.
signal. Believe you me, I saw a beggar who was carrying a QR code, because
I
people
agree.
can't
This is
safely
the truth.
say
Yep.
the, you know. So I mean that was like amazing, and that's where you feel that it's truly the digital revolution. So that
Correct.
was so.
That's right. Yeah.
So, Mr. Sevwal, tell me something. So now we all are acknowledging the fact that, this is a big thing, it's a substantial growth now, but then we are still covering only a certain percentage of the market, right? So which means that this industry has still more room for expansion, more people
That's
to
correct.
come in. So tomorrow, if somebody like me, wants to get into a digital payment kind of a job, so to your experience or to your understanding, what are the kind of skill sets do you feel are required? Not necessarily technology, but as you mentioned, sales, non-sales technology. So what are the kind of skill sets are we looking at for people to excel in this industry?
See, I'll tell you. So, skill is something which can be developed,
Mm-hmm.
right, to do any of the role. So even when we passed out from the colleges, right, so we only had theoretical knowledge.
Correct.
We did not have any kind of practical knowledge, or probably we would have started career with, say, company A, which was working on some different domain, then moved to company B, which was working on a different domain, right? So everybody has learned. So as on today, the digital platform, digital economy, or digital India is growing. So the basic thing is people should have a basic digital literacy. So that is something which is very important. People should know how to make the data and use that particular data for decision making. That is two. Third is, if they have done any kind of basic online courses which are available nowadays. There are a lot of edtechs which have come. So now it is not very important that you have to go to school, right?
Right.
So
Right.
at any age you can learn through these online courses, and upskill yourself. And the most important thing is the person's problem solving and critical thinking capability. So that is something which is very important. It
Right.
is more of person should have a will to learn, and basic understanding of basic digital literacy. So these are few things which I feel is very important, and then rest of the thing is something which can be trained. And then, say for an example, if any person joins an organization with the same kind of domain, same kind of expertise, but again we spend a month or 2 months of time to understand the processes of the new employer,
Correct.
right? and
Absolutely.
and and if we have a right person with the right will coming with the basic understanding, obviously he can be groomed
Right.
in the similar fashion, right, in the same time. So that
Correct.
is something what my thought of, but end of the day, that varies from people.
No, no, totally agree. In fact, as a staffing company or into HR solutions, even we are witnessing a tectonic shift of sorts, which is
That's
happening
correct.
within the digital payment space. So,
Right.
like if you look at 2017, 18, when we were dealing with some of your competition and largely it was driven by the merchant acquisition, right?
Right.
Selling the QR codes, etc. Then, they started selling POS machines. Now there are something else. So I think, the point you have made is extremely valid, that as long as an individual has that basic understanding, so of how the whole digital economy works, I think he or she can definitely excel and succeed
That's
into
correct.
and we are also seeing another shift. And since we also do some bit of hiring for you and for some of our clients, there is also a change in the approach also, where
That's
you
correct.
know as long as that guy has a basic understanding of selling credit cards or other retail lending products or something, he or she is also becoming a good fit for your kind of requirements or for
That's
some
correct.
competition as well.
That's
So
correct. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, I totally agree to your point where, it's more of a will. Skill is something which you learn as you go around, and,
Correct.
coming to more technical jobs, which are largely more IT driven or, data science driven, etc. So what are the, qualities or attributes are the organizations are prioritizing to your, thing towards their workforce to ensure that there is an adaptability to the rapid changing technology environment, because the demands for this job is high. I mean, while these guys are in job, it is not a regular 9 to 5 job.
That's
It's
correct. Yep.
not that I'll only work from Monday to Friday. I will only work from this time. So how does a human resources organization within these companies play the role towards bringing that adaptability to these individuals?
when we talk about the recruitment strategies, right, for the organization which are typically into payments, those are evolving on day-to-day basis. So even the expectations are, because payment system is very, very complex, right? So you need people who understand, payment architecture, right? Who have some understanding about payment system architecture, API integrations, right? Then who understand, the complications of cyber security, risk and compliance, right? And then whatever you are developing as an organization, be it fintech or any other organization. So like mobile is very mobile, very easily available. The smartphones are available with each and every individual as in today. So mobile developers, right? Then when we talk about so everything is driven by data. Then the data analytics is one of the area, right? Then you require people to think around what exactly people are looking for, right? So what kind of what are the user needs, and then what should be how we can create a user friendly interface to use, right? So for that you need product managers, right? And then end of the day, when you have all these things, then you need a solid sales team which can patient these products to the end consumer, right? So while these are the key areas which are evolving, or we are focusing on while recruiting the people, but again, now the trend is changing. People are not very focused on looking at the educational qualification background like we used to do say 10 years back. Now we are more focused on skill based assessments. There are companies which are doing a lot of hackathons, right? And then recruiting people on basis on their inputs. Then people who have domain understanding, right? Who understand, who keeps themselves updating through different mediums, right? They're doing online trainings, or attending seminars, right? And then say who are focused on continuous learning, right? So these are few of the things on which companies are focusing on. Then using social media. So typically, initially people were completely based on using were recruiters were dependent on the job portals on, right? So now they're also using social media platforms. So you can recruit people from LinkedIn. You can have people from say Facebook also, right? You can utilize that particular platform to target your potential candidates. Then again, now employers are more focused on employer branding, right? Specifically with the help of the leadership team, right? So attending a lot of seminars so that people understand what kind of leadership an organization have, and then what is the thought process, what is the future vision that they have to do, right? Then next is utilizing the internal talent pool. So mobility of internal resources. So say for an example, one is working in one particular specific area and then he wants to learn something, right? The mobility of resources within the pool. Then having good learning and development programs, training programs within the organization. Then utilizing your internal talent pool, so referrals, right? So referrals from those people, so their friends, their ex-colleagues, right? So this is how the entire uh, ecosystem is something which organization is building up to say build their in-house teams.
Right. So what you mentioned right now is more from a talent acquisition point of view, and I think again, thanks for helping me with my next question. Is that now how HR as a department has evolved over a period of last few years in managing these people? So acquisition is one part of it, but then how things have changed. So for example, flexibility, work from home, work-life balance, and all those things, right? I mean, considering the fact that the majority of population you are dealing with are either Gen Zs or the millennials now, right? So
That's good.
how has HR transformed? I mean, and that is something I'm really interested to know that, we were still, our generation is still very, pieced out, and, we don't have so many hackles in our life. But how are you dealing with the Gen Zs and the
See,
millennials?
so I'll tell you. So the new generation is very innovative, right? So what we were learning at the time of starting of our career, so they know each and everything at their academics only. So
Absolutely.
they are very innovative. They are very knowledgeable people, right? And they know what are the expectations, right, from them. So and it is not something which to say take an example of COVID, right? So when COVID happened, so a lot of organizations moved into work from home model. Then they said we will do hybrid. Now again, everybody is coming back to normal. Reason being the human touch was missing,
Correct.
right? Which even employees figured out that we are not able to meet our team members. We are not able to interact, and probably the synergy between the team members, the colleagues were not there, and then everybody is resuming back. Similarly, during this period, the use of digital platforms have increased a lot.
Correct.
Initially, whatever was coming in, it was coming via email, or it
Yeah.
was coming via, probably people were drafting a note in your that box which we used to have in an
Correct.
HR suggestion box or complaint box kind of something.
Correct.
But now, since this COVID has happened, so people have started putting everything on social media.
Right.
Even if I have someone has to communicate or say something about his manager, good, bad, and everything is going on social media without
Correct.
taking a consent from that particular person, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now HR role is completely different. It is not only strategical, or say managing day-to-day activities, but
Correct.
managing these kind of things also. So putting that kind of awareness among the employees, right? So what exactly has to be done? How to use social media? What are the things we can put, and then something is reported like this, how to tackle these
Absolutely.
things, right? so
Even
so
the
that is
HR
also very
role.
important.
Yeah. So even your role or your team's role has also evolved
That's
along with the
correct.
technology. Absolutely. No, I would
Right.
totally
And
agree
it is
with
not
that.
only about day-to-day operations, right? You also have to discuss with business, and you have to be aligned with them, so that everything can be achieved as an organization goal. So it is not an individual's responsibility or one function's responsibility, right? And HR, being a bridge between all the departments, plays
Correct.
very important role,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So starting from, say, manpower planning, then identifying people,
Hmm.
right, building those synergies between those teams, and then ensuring you are providing that learning opportunities to your existing staff members,
Right.
so that they can contribute more towards the organization's growth.
Right. All right. So moving on, now, while SBI payments is more from an established, you come from that legacy of a PSU bank, but from a normal digital payment services, when we think of it, is largely driven by new age organizations, startups, etc. So, what is your thought, in what ways do you think that startups are leveraging on that digital ecosystem to create more employment opportunities in general? I mean, as an industry, how they are leveraging the digital ecosystem for employment.
See, again, India is a very big market, right? So it is not a small market. It's a very big market, and it has a very huge potential. So even one player cannot serve to
Correct.
all the customers, and
Correct.
then you need a lot of innovation in terms of technology, and then a lot of fast deliveries, right, in terms of products, and in terms of the need of the user, right? And these fintechs which are coming in, new age people who are coming in and then launching different things, very new products. This also inspires us, right, to
Absolutely.
partner with them, or to learn from them, and then deliver something like what they are building up. And
Right.
obviously, so whenever a new organization is coming in, it creates a lot of opportunities, so which starts from HR, and then they start building opportunities for other people.
Right. 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 Absolutely. And so, I mean, and thanks again for the third time you have led to my third last question. Just the last question. So, as an industry, how do you think, or what is your thought on where are we heading to with regards to digital payments or payment services in general, for the next maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? How do you foresee things?
See, India is the fastest growing, economy. And then again, when we talk about digital side, so India is growing very rapidly, right? And in terms of innovation, and in terms of new things, India is leading the world, right? And there are many things, you will
Right.
see a lot of Indian players, a lot of Indian startups are initially what used to happen. Companies were, founded in internationally, and then they were coming into India. So now things are changing. Companies are formed in India and
Yeah.
they are expanding globally, right? And then this is
No,
something which is
absolutely.
going to happen for next 2 3 years, and then India will be leading, the entire digital platform.
Right. No, in fact, I mean, it's just a coincidence that, I just met someone who is part of another digital, they are into the payment bank space,
Hmm.
and they have a huge presence in Africa, and
That's correct.
they are the biggest payment service provider in Africa.
Right.
And the reason why they have grown so much is because of the risk of carrying cash in Africa in certain countries because of, cases coming out of loots and
That's
mugging,
correct.
etc. So they have used that as an opportunity to grow payments market.
That's correct. And
And
even
others,
if you see, so in terms of technology infrastructure, so India is way ahead
yeah,
from the companies which are dealing at international market, and that
correct.
is the reason acceptance is very high, from these international players also, international countries
And
also.
some
It,
part of it is also the reliability that,
reliability, correct.
yeah, so you always are, you always know that if you're dealing with an Indian company, you won't get cheated or you won't get looted,
That's correct.
when it comes to
That's
money.
correct.
No,
Correct.
absolutely. I guess, that wraps up my questions, Mr. Semwal. Thank you. And I know
Thank
it's
you.
late
Thank
in
you
the
so
evening.
much.
Any closing thoughts, anything, you want to mention, from your industry point of view as you're representing your own industry, anything you want to say?
So nothing much. Obviously, this is a very exciting domain to be in. While
Absolutely.
I'll say I started my career with IT companies, right,
Correct.
which were typically into IT services. And when I got an opportunity to get into fintech, and I felt like this is something magic happening in the world, right? And
Yeah.
and that is the reason I'm still in the same kind of domain, right?
No, the
So.
magic still continues, that's the
Magic still
beauty.
continues and will keep continuing, for next many years, because this is the future, right? And we are definitely going to lead the world in this particular space, right? So we are the examples. We have seen UPI, right? So this is one of the best plus product, which company
Yes,
countries are looking at, right? So what exactly India has built
absolutely.
up and how it has been growing, for past few years,
Absolutely.
right? So it is an excellent domain to be in, and I will definitely say to all the viewers, if they want to build a career in the same domain, obviously that they can follow these fintech forums, right, which happens, and then keep learning multiple things in into payments, which will help them professionally as well as personally, right?
No, that's a great thought, Mr. Simal. I think that is really needed. And yes, I think we all are, you, me, and everyone, we are blessed that we are at the right place at the right
Correct.
time.
That's right.
There is a strong government push for a developed India in next 20 years. So I think, the best is yet to come. And I
Yet to
think we
come.
are
That's
at the
right.
right
Yeah.
place. And hopefully things shape up really well. With that note, thank you, Mr. Semwal. Thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you so much, Krish. Thank you. Thank you so
And
much
look
for
forward
inviting
for
me.
more interactions with you in coming
Surely.
future.
Yeah, surely. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks. Yeah.